Well, welcome back to another lesson. And today's topic is the truth about Facebook ads. Before we begin, I could insert any other hyped up business getting marketing tool here, and the principles of this lesson would be the same. So, the truth about funnels, the truth about Google ads, the truth about anything really. The reason I'm going to dive into this topic is because I've had a lot of experience with Facebook ads. I've often thought of them in the wrong way, and I can speak from experience to help those of you who have thought in the same way to readjust your thinking. So if you have run Facebook ads in the past, have had a business mentor or an agency run them for you, or just say that you need to spend more to get more, then this lesson is for you. So here's what we're going to cover. The first thing is where ad agencies fall short and the reality of Facebook ads. We're also going to talk about attracting high intent leads and how to create more high intent leads. By the end of this lesson, you should know why those two last things are really important and how to go about doing that. But let's begin with the major problem that I've seen in the Facebook marketing world. The first is most of the time, the ad agency that is running your ads or the business coach that is helping you run your ads has a team of offshore employees that have huge task loads, lots of businesses to service, and the only real way to service a lot of businesses at scale is to have templates and to utilize templates heavily. And when you start to have templates being used, what you've got to understand is these agencies have business coaches themselves. So they're getting templates from the top, from other business marketing agency coaches who coach agencies. And you get this effect where even if local businesses in your local area don't necessarily use the same agency as you, they'll more than likely have a similar template. You can look all the way to the very, very top and see that you've got gym launch, and then people see what gym launch do and then replicate it for themselves. And it's just like this trickle down effect. The goal for any business is to try and wedge yourself into a place where you have a competitive advantage. And this is one place that you won't have a competitive advantage if you're relying on other people to do the most important thing in your business, and that is the lifeblood of it, bringing new people in. And ultimately, when you have other people run your stuff, templates being changed uh, to suit your business, but not necessarily coming from your business, you have this effect where the consumer or the people that you're marketing to within the 5K radius of where your gym is located, or whatever audience you're actually advertising to, they get tired of seeing similar and the same messages. And how you'll know this happens and how I knew this happened was when I would call a lead that came from a Facebook ad, and they wouldn't remember opting in. They wouldn't remember which business I was calling from and why they even opted in the first place. And that is just a very a terrible place to start the sales conversation. So the reality of Facebook ads is this: Facebook ads are essentially interruption marketing. You have somebody knocking off at the end of the day or starting their day or might be on a weekend, and they'll be going through Facebook, catching up on life, catching up on friends and family, and then all of a sudden your message pops up. And to grab their attention, you have to be louder, more outrageous, or just be completely misbelieving in the way that you offer your offer in order to get that attention and that follow through. That's why free stuff, it's ultimately a race to zero when you play the game of interruption marketing. When you are offering a hey, pay me for this service type of product. Now, the contrast to that is when you have somebody search for you, when you have somebody recommended to you, when you have somebody who consumes your content first and then decides to join, or decides to inquire, I should say, they're much better in terms of knowing who and why they opted in for in the first place. And I mean, if you've ever sat in a consultation selling fitness and somebody has come to you and said, I've been watching your stuff for the last 6 months and I'm ready to join, they are much easier to sell. So ultimately what we want to do is we want to try and attract more of this high intent lead. And there's two ways to do this. Now, if you think about all the people out in the world, all the people out in the 5 kilometer radius of your gym, they all fall in different buckets. Ultimately, you have, and I don't have a slide for this, I should have had a slide for this, but ultimately you have people who are just kind of floating around. They are either not problem aware, so they don't know they have a problem that you can solve. They're problem aware and they're looking for someone to solve their problem, but they're just not sure of the solution, so they're not solution aware. And then you have somebody who's ready to buy. Okay, they're the main three buckets. There are people landing on your website right now who are ready to buy. They just don't know how to buy because it's not clear enough. Now, if you haven't watched any of my content yet, I would go back and watch all of my YouTube videos because I basically spell it out there on how to make sure you're setting up your web presence so that people can very easily buy what you have to offer, or at least inquire about it and be served. Now, the second bucket is those who are problem aware, but they're not solution aware. And this is where something like a customer journey really comes into its own. You need to create a gap between them first knowing about you and them, well, this is your lead, the person first discovering your business and the person actually inquiring about working with your business. Now, the larger that gap and the more content filled that gap is, the more likely you are to build trust, build a relationship, and get the sale across the line in a very easy, non-salesy way, which is what we're all after, really, at the end of the day. So if you can artificially create that gap, you can make it predictable rather than just hoping and praying that somebody is going to consume your content and eventually they'll reach out. You need to create A point, a B point, and steps in between. Hey ho, just like fitness, right? So you can use your skills in fitness and apply them to marketing and sales and business. And how you do this is through something like a 30-day email series. If you're emailing someone once a day at 6 a.m., you're reliable. You send that email at once a day at 6 a.m. You don't have to do it manually. You can do this in an automated way. If you do this every single day and you show up and they get value, what are the chances that that person getting your emails are going to actually say, hey, I need your help. I'm ready for it. The cool thing about this is it's compounding. So you might get 10 people subscribe if your website's on point each week. 3 turn into sales consults, 2 sign up. We've got 8 free leads every single week being added to your list. So 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years down the track, imagine the amount of people you're going to have on the list who have consumed your content, okay? Off platform, so not on Facebook, not on Instagram, but in the email, which is what you own. You own that list, you own that traffic, can never be taken off you, okay? This brings me to the first bucket that I mentioned, and that was not problem aware. This is the vast majority of people, okay? And it's these people that you can run Facebook ads to. But the Facebook ad looks really different. It's not, hey, buy my 28-day challenge, or here's a free 28-day challenge. Come in and devalue my product while you try it out and then leave having not paid anything, or leave having just tried it out, or hopefully convert into a long-term member, which is very rare. That's not what you want to run. You don't want to run those stupid campaigns that make you look like you're desperate, you're scraping from the bottom of the barrel. You want to be positioning yourself as full. You can't take on everyone who sees your ad. So why the hell should you promote to everyone that you're open? You should be actually promoting that you're closed. And instead, You should be offering them something of value that doesn't require a purchase and only requires time, because it's the first hurdle to get over. If somebody gives you their time willingly and they gain value back from your time or the time that they spent with you, they are more likely to sign up. And this is just a very quick overview of how that all looks. So interruption marketing can be on LinkedIn, it could be on Facebook, it could be on Instagram. You could interrupt somebody walking down the street. Heck, it doesn't matter. All that matters is knowing where your buyer is at each stage of the journey and crafting a pathway that leads to more conversions. Now, this alone has, in effect, taken our cost per customer acquisition from $600 per client. Yes, we were paying $600 per client to acquire them. Now think about that. At $100 per week, it would take us 6 weeks to break even. We had a customer acquisition cost of $600 per week. Half of that was Facebook ads. Half of that was going to the marketing agency. And we've literally driven that down to zero. If we employed somebody to take the strength assessments, it'd probably be $30 per strength assessment. We're currently converting at 60 to 80%. So for every strength assessment that we have with the owner right now, it's a 60 to 80%. If even if that like came down to 40% with somebody that we hired to take them, we would be getting a return on investment of about 10 to 20x. Okay, which is really, really uh, key to have, especially from organic. Now, if we did start running ads again, we don't have to at the moment because we're just completely smashed with organic leads. We can't take them all. But if we started running Facebook ads again, that uh, 20x or that 10x, that would obviously come down. Okay, it would come down because there'd be more costs added into it, but it would still be much better than the half a dollar per dollar spent that we were spending at the start of the year in a highly competitive area in the middle of West End where there's like 20 gyms. Okay, so actions from the end of this conversation. What I want you to do is, if you haven't watched all of my previous videos, go and watch them now. You're going to see things and you're going to want to implement things. I would recommend you implement from from the start. So think about how you're being discovered and make sure your shop front, whatever that might be, looks and feels like the experience they get when they come into your gym. When they come into your business, you want to make sure you're conveying that premium experience as soon as possible. Okay, so for you, it might be the sniper site that you need to set up. If you've got a really great website already, you might need to set up a 30-day email series. When you put these ducks in a row, it compounds. And if you need any help putting this all together, then I'd be more than happy to help. I can assess where your business is at, look at all your assets, and make sure you've got them in the perfect line that pulls clients in and makes working with you a no-brainer. Why am I doing this? Well, we can only serve so many people. Okay, as a business in West End, we can only serve maybe 1/10 of the actual population of women who need to get stronger. Your business might not even be in women's fitness. It might be in boxing. It might be in some other adjacent fitness business. Helping you and even helping the person with the women's fitness business is what I can do to impact more people. And at the end of the day, it's all about impact, right? The more people I can impact, the happier I'll be, the more wealthy I'll be, and the more safety and security my family will have. And the same goes for you. You should want to impact as many people as possible. You shouldn't be in a position where you're like, I'm happy with the client list that I've got. Because if you get complacent, you will lose. You'll get 14 months down the track, which is the average turnover for a fitness business, and all of your clients will have left and all your business will be basically brand new. Now, yes, some of us have really great clients that have lasted with us for 5, 6 years, but if you're honest with yourself and you look at the numbers, 95% of your clients who come to you in January are gone by June, June, July, August, September. You're getting your brand new cohort. So don't get complacent. go back and watch the videos. If you need help, reach out. Don't be afraid. I'm no coach. I'm no mentor. I'm a builder. I love building. Um, I'll tell you how to build the asset. If you want the asset built for you, then obviously we can talk about that. But I hope that was a valuable lesson, and I'll catch you on the next one. The next one will be about your offer and why it's not the problem. Okay, this hyper focus on crafting the perfect offer when the actual problem is the step before the offer, and I'll reveal that to you in the next lesson. All right, catch up.